I'm dying. That's my first thought as I collapse onto the cold emergency room floor, my white shirt blooming red like some twisted flower. The fluorescent lights above blur into halos, and somewhere far away, I hear screaming. It might be mine. We need a surgeon now. A nurse's voice cuts through the chaos. He's losing too much blood. My hand clutches the knife wound near my heart, close, so terrifyingly close. But death isn't what scares me most right now. It's the doors bursting open. It's the sharp snap of latex gloves. It's him, Dr. Kang Seojun. Of all the surgeons in Seoul, it had to be him. He strides toward me with that cold, precise confidence surgeons wear like armor. His dark eyes are focused, professional until he freezes. Mid-breath. His pupils dilate as the scent suppressant patch on my neck finally, catastrophically fails. Sweet magnolia. Summer rain. Omega. No. That's impossible, he whispers, and I've never heard fear in a surgeon's voice before. There are no unregistered omegas in Seoul. Our eyes meet. In that split second, I see recognition flash across his face, though he doesn't place it yet. I see shock, confusion, and something darker, something primal that makes my omega instincts scream alpha, alpha, alpha. Don't. I gasp, tasting copper. Don't tell anyone, please. His jaw clenches. The heart monitor beside me shrieks its erratic panic. Clear the room, he orders, voice like ice. I'm operating alone. But Dr. Kang, protocol requires. Now. The nurses scatter. The doors slam shut. And I'm alone with the one person who could destroy my entire existence with a single phone call. 3 hours earlier, I was free. Well, as free as an unregistered omega could be in a country that treated us like government property. I'd been on suppressants for 8 years, since I turned 18 and the Omega Protection Act passed. Since the day they started rounding us up, registering us, assigning us to alphas like we were parcels to be delivered. I chose dangerous freedom over a gilded cage. Tonight, I was in Itaewon, camera in hand, capturing Seoul's neon-soaked streets for my photography exhibition. My life was small but mine. A rented studio apartment in Hongdae. Freelance photography gigs. Suppressants bought from a sympathetic doctor in Busan. It wasn't much, but it was mine. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number, I know what you are. Meet me at Namsen Tower in 1 hour, or I'll report you. My blood turned to ice water. 8 years of hiding, gone. Someone new. I ran through the crowded streets, heart pounding, checking over my shoulder every few seconds. The Saturday night crowds should have made me invisible, but I felt exposed. Hunted. A hand grabbed my arm near the Itaewon subway entrance. Hello, little Omega. I spun around to find a man in hospital scrubs, tall, handsome in that sharp-featured way, smelling of antiseptic and something darker. Dangerous alpha pheromones that made my suppressant-dulled instincts scream warnings. You've been very good at hiding, he said, smiling like a wolf. But I'm better at hunting. I'm Dr. Park Tae-jun. And you're going to come with me quietly or... I didn't let him finish. I slammed my camera into his face and ran. He caught me in an alley behind a convenience store. We struggled, his strength against my desperation. Then I felt it, cold steel sliding between my ribs. Pain exploded through my chest. You should have cooperated, he hissed in my ear. Omegas who resist don't last long. I don't know how I got away. Adrenaline, maybe. I stumbled into a taxi, bleeding, and gasped out the only address that might help. Seoul National University Hospital. I never imagined he'd be there. Now, Seojun works in focused silence, cutting away my blood-soaked shirt. His hands are steady despite the omega pheromones flooding the operating room, my traitorous body calling to his alpha instincts. Stay with me, he commands, and I don't know if he's talking to me or himself. I drift in and out. Pressure. The steady beep of monitors. His face hovering above mine, concentrated, beautiful in that untouchable way surgeons are. Like marble statues, perfect but cold. Except his hands are gentle when they touch my skin. Control yourself, I hear him mutter. He's your patient. Nothing more. But I can smell his scent breaking through his suppressants too, winter pine, clean and sharp. Alpha. My Omega biology recognizes him, wants him, even as my mind screams danger. As he closes the final suture, my eyes flutter open. Our gazes lock. You're Kang Seojun, I whisper. My throat feels like sandpaper. I remember you. His hands still on the surgical thread. We've never met. Yes, we have. A weak smile tugs at my lips despite everything. 10 years ago. Seoul University campus. I was lost, 16, terrified of everything. You were a medical student. I asked for directions and you said, I cough, pain lancing through my chest. Walk toward what scares you most. Something cracks in his cold expression. Recognition. Memory. The teenager with tooled eyes who'd been running even then. You need to leave Seoul, he says quietly, urgently. Tonight. There are people who will. The door slams open. Park Tae-jun stands there, blood staining his scrubs. My blood. His smile is poison sweet. Sorry I'm late, Seojun. I had an emergency. His eyes find me on the operating table. Is that my patient? My heart monitor screams. Seojun steps between us, blocking Tae-jun's view of me. He's stable. I'm transferring him to post-op, alone. Protocol requires. I said alone. The two alphas stare at each other, and I'm trapped between them, prey between predators. I close my eyes and pray to gods I stopped believing in years ago. Please, just let me survive tonight. I wake up in a place that smells like money. Floor-to-ceiling windows. Leather furniture. Seoul's skyline glittering below like scattered diamonds. This isn't a hospital room. This is someone's home. Someone rich. I'm wrapped in a coat that smells like winter pine, Seojun's scent, and every breath makes my healing wound ache. You're awake. His voice comes from across the room. He's standing by the windows, phone pressed to his ear, tension radiating from his shoulders. Yes, Dr. Choi, I understand the risks, but... He glances at me. I'll call you back. The call ends. Silence stretches between us like a wire pulled too tight. Where am I? My voice comes out rough, damaged. My penthouse. Gangnam. He pockets his phone, crossing the room with that precise surgeon's grace. I smuggled you out through the underground parking garage. Tae-jun was asking questions. Too many questions. You should have left me there. I try to sit up and immediately regret it. Pain explodes across my chest. Don't move. You have 14 stitches and... He's suddenly there, hands steadying me, lowering me back onto the couch. His touch is clinical, but I feel the tremor in his fingers. You almost died tonight. Better dead than registered. His jaw tightens. I'm calling Dr. Choi Minha. She specializes in Omega medicine. She can help with your suppressants, get you new. No. Terror claws up my throat. No one else can know. You were stabbed by another surgeon from my hospital. His control fractures, showing the fear underneath. Park Tae-jun is dangerous. He's been under investigation for illegal Omega trafficking. If he knows about you, then I'm already dead. The words hang in the air between us. Truth, cold and final. Seojun runs a hand through his hair, disturbing its perfect style. He looks exhausted suddenly. Human. Your suppressant patch is failing. I can smell. He stops, breathing carefully through his mouth. How long have you been on suppressants? 8 years. Since I turned 18. His face goes pale. That's fatal. Your body should have died. I laugh, bitter and sharp. I should have. But I chose dangerous freedom over safe captivity. I chose me over whatever alpha the government decided I belonged to. He crouches in front of me, and I'm struck again by how beautiful he is up close. Sharp features, dark intelligent eyes, lips pressed into a line that suggests he's used to controlling everything, including himself. Listen to me carefully. I can help you disappear. I have connections in Jeju Island, Omega-friendly communities where the authorities don't ask questions. We can get you on a boat by morning. Why? The question bursts out of me. Why would you help me? You don't even know me. Something soft crosses his expression. Because 10 years ago, I told a scared kid to walk toward what scares him most. And you did. You've been surviving alone in a system designed to cage you. He pauses and his voice drops. That takes more courage than I've ever had. My chest tightens and it has nothing to do with the stab wound. What if? I meet his eyes. What if I don't want to run anymore? What are you saying? My heart pounds. This is insane. Reckless. Exactly the kind of thing that's kept me alive for 8 years. The Omega Protection Act has one loophole. If an Omega is bonded to an Alpha, the government can't interfere. They become legally untouchable. Seojun stands abruptly, like I've shocked him. You're asking me to bond with you? That's permanent. It's the only way I survive. I force myself to meet his gaze. And maybe the only way you figure out who's been trafficking Omegas from your hospital. He goes very still. What do you know about that? I'm a photographer, Dr. Kang. I see things others miss. I've been documenting the Omega trafficking ring for 6 months. I have evidence, photographs, recordings, transactions. I know Taejun is involved, along with at least a dozen others. I lean forward despite the pain. But I need protection to go public. I need someone powerful enough that they can't make me disappear. His mind is working. I can see it in his eyes. The surgeon's brain calculating risks, weighing options, analyzing outcomes. This is a terrible idea, he finally says. I know. We'll have to pretend to be in love. Bonded pairs are investigated by social services. They'll interview us, watch us, look for any sign of coercion or fraud. I can pretend. He steps closer, and my Omega instincts flutter despite 8 years of suppressants. Can you? Because when I bond you, your body will react to mine. Your heat cycles will sync to my rut. Every instinct will scream at you to submit, to nest, to, he stops himself, to do things you've spent 8 years avoiding. I force myself to stand, ignoring my body's protests. We're inches apart now. Close enough that I can see the gold flecks in his dark eyes. Close enough to smell his scent breaking through his suppressants, and to know mine is doing the same to him. I've survived 8 years of hell, Dr. Kang. I can survive you. Something flashes in his eyes. Respect, maybe? Or challenge. Tomorrow morning, we register the bond at the government office. Tonight you rest. We have separate rooms. His voice is firm, controlled. The surgeon again, not the Alpha. And Taejun? What about him? Seojun's smile is cold enough to freeze blood. Leave him to me. That night, alone in the guest room with its expensive sheets and its view of a city that wants to cage me, I stare at the ceiling and wonder what I've just agreed to. Bonding. Pretending to love a stranger. Tying my survival to an Alpha who looks at me like I'm a problem to be solved. But when I close my eyes, I don't see the surgeon's cold efficiency. I see gentle hands stitching me back together. I see someone who chose to save me when he could have made a single call and collected a reward. Maybe this terrible idea is the best chance I've ever had. Or maybe I'm walking toward what scares me most. The bonding registration takes 17 minutes. Blood test. Forms. A medical officer who barely looks at us. Then Seojun leans in and marks my neck. Just a superficial bite, enough to leave a temporary bruise that photographs well. His lips are clinical against my skin, but my Omega biology doesn't know the difference. Heat floods through me. Congratulations, the officer says, stamping our certificate. You're now legally bonded. Just like that, I belong to someone. Except Seojun makes it clear I don't belong to him at all. 1 week of living together teaches me that Dr. Kang Seojun is a ghost. He leaves for the hospital at 5 a.m. Returns after midnight. We communicate through notes left on the kitchen counter. Leftovers in fridge. Don't wait up. Professional. Distant. I tell myself this is what I wanted. A business arrangement. Protection without strings. I don't tell myself why I listen for his key in the lock every night. Why I've started cooking dinner even though he's never there to eat it. Why his empty side of the penthouse feels like a rejection I have no right to feel. We're strangers playing house. Nothing more. Until my body betrays me. It happens 2 weeks early. I wake at 2 a.m. drenched in sweat, my skin burning like I've been set on fire from the inside. For a moment, I don't understand. Then the cramps hit, deep, visceral, wrong, and I know. My first natural heat in 8 years. The suppressants have finally, completely failed. I bite my pillow trying to stay quiet, but my body is screaming. Every nerve ending is exposed. Every breath releases more pheromones, thick, sweet, desperate. Omega in heat. Omega in distress. Omega calling for an alpha. No, I can't do this. I won't be reduced to this biological nightmare, won't become some mindless creature begging to be. My bedroom door slams open. Seojun stands there in pajama pants and nothing else, chest heaving, eyes wild. His alpha instincts have dragged him from sleep, from control, from everything that makes him him. Don't, I gasp, curling into myself on the floor. Don't come closer. I can handle this. You're in heat. His voice is rough, barely human. He takes a step forward, then stops himself. I can see the war happening inside him. The doctor versus the alpha. I need you to leave. The words tear out of me between sobs. I won't be like them. I won't become some alpha's breeding toy just because biology says so. Something in my voice breaks through to him. The wildness in his eyes clears slightly. He takes a careful breath, then another, wrestling back control. Okay, he says quietly. Okay, Haewon. But I'm not leaving you alone like this. Before I can protest, he lifts me carefully, so carefully, and carries me to his bedroom. The bed is massive, covered in blankets that smell like him. Winter pine. Safety. Alpha. My omega instincts purr with satisfaction even as my mind screams at the betrayal. He sets me down and immediately starts building a nest around me. Pillows. Blankets. Creating a safe space even though his hands are shaking with the effort of not touching me. I'm not going to touch you, he says, and I hear the strain in his voice. But I'll stay. My scent will help ease the pain. Why? I'm crying now, heat and emotion twisting together. Why are you being kind? You don't owe me anything. This is just business. He sits on the floor beside the bed, deliberately putting distance between us. Maybe I'm tired of pretending I don't care. 3 days. That's how long heat lasts when you haven't had one in 8 years. 3 days of Seojun tending to me like I'm his most critical patient. Cool cloths for the fever. Water when I can barely swallow. His scent, carefully controlled, to soothe the omega's distress without pushing me into something I don't want. He never crosses the boundary. Never climbs into the bed, even when I'm delirious and begging in ways that make me hate myself later. Never takes advantage even though I can see how much it costs him. The control. The restraint. On the 3rd night, the fever finally breaks. I wake clear-headed for the first time in days. The room is dim, early morning light just starting to creep through the windows. And there, on the floor beside the bed, is Seojun. Still keeping watch. His hair is messy. Dark circles shadow his eyes. He's still in the same clothes from yesterday, wrinkled, exhausted, beautiful. Something cracks open in my chest. Something terrifying. I think I'm falling for you, I whisper to his sleeping form. And that terrifies me more than anything Taejun could do. I don't know that across the city, Dr. Choi Minha is confronting Taejun in the hospital's surgical wing. I know you attacked that Omega, she says, voice cold. I have security footage. Taejun smiles like a predator. Do you? Shame if something happened to it. Or to you. Touch me, and Seojun will destroy you. Seojun. Taejun laughs. He's too busy playing house with stolen property. That Omega is mine. I claimed him first. He's bonded to Seojun. Legally protected. Taejun leans closer, and his smile turns vicious. Bonds can be broken, Dr. Choi. Especially when the Omega is carrying someone else's child. When Seojun wakes, he finds me watching him. How do you feel? His voice is rough from sleep. Better. Thanks to you. We stare at each other in the dawn light. Something has shifted between us during those 3 days. Something neither of us knows how to name. Seojun. His phone rings. He answers and I watch his face go pale. What do you mean, pregnant? He looks at me eyes wide. Are you certain? My blood turns to ice. It's not possible. Unless that night in the alley during the struggle with Taejun, he did more than just stab me. The room spins. Seojun is still talking, but I can't hear anything over the roaring in my ears. Pregnant. With my attacker's child. Everything we've built is about to crumble. The pregnancy test sits on the bathroom counter like an accusation. 2 pink lines. Positive. My hands won't stop shaking. I've taken 3 tests. All positive. All confirming the nightmare that's been growing inside me since that night in the alley. I press my palm against my still flat stomach and feel nothing but revulsion. This isn't a miracle. This is evidence of violence. Proof that Taejun marked me in the worst possible way. Seojun will leave me now. Why wouldn't he? Our arrangement was simple, protection in exchange for evidence. Not this. Never this. The door opens. I didn't even hear him come home. Haewon. His voice is soft, exhausted from another 16-hour surgery. Dr. Choi called me. She said you came in for testing. Why are you? He stops when he sees my face. The tears streaming down my cheeks. What's wrong? I can't speak. I just hand him the test. His face goes blank. Then cold. Then something I can't read, something that twists in his expression like pain. The silence stretches forever. It's Taejun's. I finally choke out. That night during the attack I lost time. I thought he just stabbed me, but he must have. I can't finish. Can't say the words that make it real. Seojun sets the test down carefully. Too carefully. Like he's handling a live grenade. I'm going to kill him. His voice is flat, emotionless. The kind of calm that comes before violence. No. I grab his arm. We do this legally. We use my evidence, expose him, destroy him in court. Prison. Public humiliation. That's worse than death. And the baby? The question hangs between us like a blade. I force myself to meet his eyes. I understand if you want to end our arrangement. This wasn't part of the deal. I can disappear, go to Jeju like you suggested, raise it alone. Stop. He catches my face in his hands, and I realize he's trembling too. What if I don't want an arrangement anymore? What if I want something real? My heart stops. What? These past weeks, watching you survive, watching you refuse to break even when biology and society and everything tried to cage you. His thumb brushes away my tears. I've fallen for you, Haewon. Not because of bonds or pheromones or contracts. Because you're brave and stubborn and beautiful even when you're being impossible. I'm pregnant with your enemy's child. The words taste like poison. You're carrying a child who will be loved and protected. I don't care about DNA. His forehead presses against mine, and his scent wraps around me, pine and winter and safety. I care about you. Only you. You really mean that? My voice breaks. I'm a surgeon. I don't lie about important things. He kisses me then. So tentative. Like I'm something precious that might shatter. Then deeper, and I'm kissing him back, pouring 8 years of loneliness and fear and desperate hope into this moment. When we break apart, I'm crying again. But this time, it's different. So what happens now? I whisper. Now. He pulls me against his chest, and I feel his heartbeat against my ear. Now we destroy Taejun. Together. 1 week later, every major news outlet in Korea is running the same story. Omega trafficking ring exposed at prestigious hospital. My photographs are everywhere. Taejun and 12 others caught in transactions, dragging terrified Omegas into unmarked vehicles, falsifying medical records. The evidence is overwhelming, undeniable. Arrests happen within hours. Seojun stands beside me at the press conference, his hand firm in mine. Dr. Choi Minha reads our statement while cameras flash like lightning. The Omega Protection Act was designed to protect, but it became a weapon. A system that treated people as property. Today, we're calling for complete reform. My phone explodes with messages. support, death threats, marriage proposals. The whole spectrum of human reaction. But none of it matters because Seojun is here, solid and real beside me. That evening, we stand at Namsen Tower's observation deck, overlooking the city that tried to cage me. What happens now? I ask, watching Seoul's lights flicker like earthbound stars. His arm wraps around my waist, pulling me close. Now, we figure it out together. The baby, the trial, us. Still scared. I lean into him, breathing in his scent. Terrified. He kisses my temple. But someone once told me to walk toward what scares me most. I laugh, the sound genuine for the first time in weeks. Sounds like a wise person. He is. Even when he's impossible and pregnant and eating kimchi ice cream at 3 a.m. That was one time. It was this morning, Haewon. I turn in his arms, mock offended, but I'm smiling. Really smiling. You're never going to let me forget that, are you? Never. His eyes are soft now, warm in a way I never thought possible from the cold surgeon who stitched me back together. Get used to it. You're stuck with me now. Legally bonded, I remind him. No. He cups my face and the look in his eyes steals my breath. Really bonded. The kind that has nothing to do with paperwork. When he kisses me this time, Seoul spreads out beneath us like a promise. A city that wanted to cage me, now witnessing my freedom. 6 months later. Her name is Kang Seojun, meaning bright star. She has my eyes and Seojun's serious expression, and when she sleeps in his arms, I capture the moment through my camera lens. This impossible happiness. This family built from survival and choice and love that defied every rule. We've moved to a hanok in Bukshan village. Traditional and beautiful, with a nursery painted in soft yellows and a studio where I edit photographs that are changing laws. The Omega Protection Act is being dismantled. Omegas have rights now. Choices. Seojun rocks Hanbyul to sleep, humming softly, and I think about that scared 16-year-old who asked for directions once. Walk toward what scares you most. I did. And I found home. Not in a place, but in the brilliant, impossible man who chose to save me when he could have walked away. Who loved me when I had nothing to offer but evidence and trauma and a child that wasn't his. Who became my alpha not through force or biology, but through choice. Every single day, we choose each other. And that's the most radical thing of all.